Hello everyone, my name is Marilyn Bardet and I live in Benicia. I've been there a resident for 25 years, long enough to know where the dirt is buried and what, you know. I first want to thank Shoshana Wexler, who was introducing us all, who is serving as our moderator tonight. Shoshana is the one who called me up out of the blue because she saw my name in the CC Times. I got a little soundbite quote, and she put me in touch with NRDC. And little did I know that the Natural Resources Defense Council had already started to address what was going on in Benicia with Valero's proposal for what they called a crude by rail project to bring crude oil, what they called North American source crudes, into Benicia. And I got to tell you, when you've been in the trenches like I've been for 15 years in Benicia doing environmental work, just a little digression, I cut my teeth as an artist. I was an artist working in the arts community in Benicia with all my friends, my husband. And one day I read the local paper and it said, things might not go better with Coke. And I thought, Coke, K-O-C-H. Had never heard of Koch Industries before, but Koch Carbon was proposing to put an enormous petroleum coke storage dump at our terminal, at our waterfront, to ship out petroleum coke to serve 6 Bay Area refineries at our port. It would have wiped out the artist district, would have wiped out our historic district that goes back to 1860. I'm telling you, that alerted everyone, and we started working that week. We made a flyer, circulated it, had a committee formed instantly. We called ourselves Benicians Against Domes, bad. And when we're bad, we're better was our motto. So, and then we found out that we were up against Koch Industries. Who are they? We found out in Vanity Fair magazine about these boys. I mean, they got a reputation. And now we really know what Koch Industries is all about. They are the largest single privately held company in America in 1995 with $25 billion annual revenue, and we know it's increased since then. So that just gives you some idea of how artists and people in the humanities suddenly jump on board, and you know, I'm still at it 15 years later. So, and as a result of the success with shutting down Koch Industries, unfortunately, just like in Heart of Darkness, they went upriver, and they went to Pittsburgh. So Liana is now suffering the consequences of realizing the toxic, you know, the carrying load that Pittsburgh is faced with, dealing with, because they're going to add, they want to add a huge oil terminal operation in Pittsburgh to what would be like the super Walmart. That's what I call it, super Walmart. But my town wants Walmart too. So Valero's going to go after this crude oil from Canada. We know it's going to come from Canada because they're doing it in Wilmington and Los Angeles. They're bringing tar sands crude. They admit it down there, but to us, the polite refinery town, they don't want to tell us. You know, we have to find out on our own. And but the story is they want to bring in petcoke. They want to bring in tar sands and North American source crudes, 2 50-car trains a day. They call them unit trains. 2 50-car trains a day, carrying a total of 70,000 barrels a day into Benicia. And you have to think about this. This is how I think as an activist. You throw a stone into a pond and you don't walk away. You watch the ripple effect out to the farthest edges of the pond, and then you watch the intersections of the ripples as they come back towards the center, and you see all of the overlapping of those ripples. And I'm going to tell you, you've got to start thinking like that when you're driving your Priuses down the road where the asphalt comes from. We got an asphalt plant in Benicia that Valero owns. The thing is these coke trains, pardon me saying coke trains because it's on my mind, isn't it? These crude trains take 8 hours to unload. And Valero wants to say that the project that they are building is only going to be on their property. That is, there will be an offloading rail facility to offload a 50-car train divided into 25 cars on parallel tracks, and they will spend 8 hours unloading it, and then that train leaves Benicia and another one comes 8 hours later. Could come any time of the day or night really, because Union Pacific controls all rail traffic in the United States. We can't tell them, we'd like it to come at night and not during the day. You know, they can say whatever they say, but Valero would like to claim that there's going to be no problem. Union Pacific, by the way, is not really listed. When we review under the California Environmental Quality Act, we review this project. Guess what? Union Pacific is not even listed as a partner to this project, yet you can imagine the off-site impacts that this project could bring to us. When you're sending trains, 50-car trains full of crude oil, through floodplains, marsh, wetlands, beautiful ecologic zones in agricultural country, and through cities, Davis, all the way to Roseville, which is one of UP's hubs, where we know some of the trains will originate. And by the way, if we're getting 2 trains a day to Benicia, then you can bet there's going to be more trains on the way, because every day 2 trains have to come. 2 trains have to come, 2 trains have to leave. Can you imagine the number of trains? Now, when you start talking to other communities, and maybe Richmond 66 is going to get, Phillips 66 and Rodeo might get trains. Now we're hearing about Pittsburgh getting trains, bringing this stuff in even more. And Liana will tell you about that. We've got a disaster on our hands when we talk about how many trains are coming in. And yesterday, my friend is reminding me, we had a train derailment in Benicia of a pet coke train coming out of Valero's property. Turns out 3 cars out of an 11-car train derailed on Valero property. UP won't even say they're having, it's not a concern of theirs. It happened on Valero property. Nothing happened. We didn't have a major spill. Nobody got hurt, et cetera, et cetera. But it doesn't take much to have a derailment, even at like 2 miles an hour, about to go through your major intersection that allows cars to come into the industrial park in Benicia, which is very active, very busy at all times of day. And I got to tell you, this has just shocked our town. That we are going to have to be bringing, I picture a huge funnel coming down from Alberta, tar sands feeding into my town. Well, I don't like that, and nobody in my town who becomes aware of this likes it either. And Valero, you know how these oil companies do? What they do is they don't tell you very much. I could read off a 3x5 card what Chris Howe, our refinery manager, I get along with these guys, I can talk to them. But they don't want to tell you very much. So it's incumbent on us to do the research. And we all have to get together to work on this, because we can't stop it in this Bay Area unless we're together. Thank you.